Somebody asked me, whose dress is that? And I was about to say mine when I realized that was not what they meant by the question.
Mm-hmm.
Whose dress is that?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently meant designer.
Uh-huh.
Answer was, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But I'm tempted to ask, whose dress is that?
I have the same reply. I don't know. You could look at the tag in the back. It was designed in the 50s.
Where'd you get it?
I got it in a thrift store on Lancashire in the Valley, right next to the place where my band rehearses. There's all these junk stores.
That's not junk.
I know.
That's
I couldn't believe it.
A great dress.
Thanks.
Why
It cost about $5.
$5?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's disgusting.
I know.
Why 50s?
Why? I just saw it and I loved the color and everything. I thought it was incredible. It was a little big on me. I've had it fitted to me. So.
What kind of reaction does it get from people?
This dress?
Yeah.
They want to know where I got it. They think it's great.
So mine is a very common reaction.
Yeah, but I don't wear it every day, so it's not like something that happens to me over and over again.
This is certainly not the dress you would have worn even a couple of years ago. You were a totally different look then.
Yeah.
Now, is this you have changed, or is this more like a business decision that this is a new look? So what is it?
I think it's a combination of everything. I think when my first records came out, the clothes that I was wearing at the time were clothes that I'd been wearing for the past few years in New York, and it was a combination of things that friends of mine had designed in New York, like Lower East Side designers, and my girlfriend Mary Paul had designed all the jewelry and the crucifixes and stuff, and all my friends were wearing all the bracelets and all the necklaces, and it was very inexpensive also. So, I mean...
From your struggling dancer days.
Yeah. It's clothes I could afford and clothes I could get for free.
I was reading at one point you couldn't decide what to do, and you had more hair, and you tied
that was
pantyhose in your hair.
Yeah, I cut my hair off, and then my hair was growing out and kept getting in my face, and then one day I just took a pair of tights because I didn't have a headband, tied it around my head, and it looked sort of like a bow, and then I went out to some club, and someone kept staring at my head, and they said, "Do you have a pair of tights in your hair?" Or, I said, "Yeah." There, I guess the Capizio tag was showing. So, but everything was kind of rag bag sort of approach.
So, I can't imagine you in that anymore. Look at the way you're sitting. You are so elegant, and you are just...
Well, it depends. When I'm wearing a pair of ripped up jeans and t-shirt, I sit differently than this. I can't really move in this dress, so I have to sit this way.
So you had to tell me that part.
Well, these kind of dresses, clothes make you. I mean, they make your body responds differently to what you're wearing.
What does that say about women in the 50s who were wearing dresses that made them look great but feel kind of uncomfortable, and spiked heels and the whole number?
Well, I think it made them kind of feel breathless. And that was what was so sexy about it, because you're kind of constricted, and everything was, your tits were sticking out, and your diaphragm was pressed in, and everything was kind of like that, And
the mystery was, let this woman out of here.
Exactly.
But you are an 80s woman in a 50s dress. So what is this new equation equal?
It equals me. I don't have a name for it.
Did you get tired of seeing yourself running around all over America? Everybody looked like Madonna for a while.
Oh, yeah, definitely. After a while, I started feeling like I was copying myself. So I was like, oh, I have to change my clothes. And then I had money, and I could buy nice clothes, so.
Like a $5 dress from the 50s. Yeah.
Well, no, I could ask, I could get nicer clothes, more elegant. So.
Is it like playing dress up a little bit?
Yeah, but it was like playing dress up then, too.
Is playing dress up something you like to do?
I like to play different characters, yeah.
Is this because you're an actress, or because you're kind of a little girl liking to play dress up?
It's because I'm a little girl who likes to play dress-up who's also an actress.
You have been you are a major star, we can stipulate that. Big, international. But you have been a star not long enough for anybody really to know much about you.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like everybody knows everything there is to know about me.
Why? You don't do that many interviews.
I do tons. I've done tons of interviews. I feel like, you know, I mean, I haven't done a lot of television, but I've done a lot of press interviews. So
why
time
haven't
and
you?
life and, you know, people, and I just feel like people have read a lot about me.
You haven't done a lot of television interviews, and thank you very much for doing this television interview. But why haven't you? Why have you you've really avoided it?
I don't know. I guess I don't watch television that much. So, no offense.
No, it's okay.
I just don't, and I never really liked the idea of doing it. Somehow I feel that television makes people, it's not flattering to people. I'd rather go see someone in a movie, you know, widescreen Technicolor, or read about them and see still photographs.
Movies. Funny you should mention it. Who's that girl starring Madonna as Nikki Finn? Nikki Finn is not this woman I'm sitting across from. I mean, obviously, she's a character you play in a movie, but why did you want to play this character, Nikki Finn? And who is she about?
She's funny, and she's sweet, and she's tough, and she's street smart, and she's vulnerable, and lots of interesting personality traits.
Was there something of her in you in an earlier time in your life?
Maybe not necessarily an earlier time, maybe any time in my life, but I identified with her character to a certain extent.
What aspects of her character did you identify with?
She's resourceful, and she's funny, and I think I'm funny. And she's smart. I mean, you know, there are certain things about her that I can relate to, but obviously I never would have found myself doing 4 years in jail. So.
No, you've not done any time. She's a thief. How come she had to be a thief?
Well, she's not really a thief. She just...
I mean, she's not really a thief.
What happened is she came to New York City from Philadelphia, and she just hung out with the wrong crowd of people. I mean, her boyfriend happened to be a small-time thief, and she was kind of in on it because of association. She didn't really do anything. She just learned stuff through him.
Seen in a movie where she's lifting...
Yeah.
Cassettes. Maybe she's stealing Madonna cassettes. I don't know.
She learned that from her boyfriend. Yes. It wasn't her fault. She was a victim of circumstance.
Yeah. It's just business then. It's
exactly.
It's not you like this woman.
Yeah, and that's
you
the other thing.
You do like her. Does it bother you that audiences who will like her might also say, well, she's a thief, isn't it?
No, I don't think that they'll even think about the fact that I'm breaking the law right and left. That's what's so great about her, that she is breaking the law and doing all these crazy things, but somehow you forgive her while she's breaking everything that she gets in the way of, or that gets in her way.
Your co-star, Griffin Dunne, is he your co-star?
Yes.
All right. Not that I forgot his name, I just didn't remember how the titles went. This is television, so
certainly
my parts
my
of this,
co-star.
when I get stupid in an interview, it gets cut out, so it's okay.
Okay. How about me?
Oh, we only want your good parts too.
Oh, good.
I don't want your bad parts on television either. We have a limited amount of time on my television program, so I don't put the bad parts. It makes me look bad too.
Right.
It's the best you could do, Jane, so not to worry. Griffin Dunne, your co-star, describing working with you on the set between takes, would find himself, as he described it, saying to himself, who is that girl, to quote the title of the movie. So I'm tempted to ask that too. Well, not about Nikki Finn, but about Madonna. So for me, for Griffin Dunne,
what, you want to know about who, me or the character?
You. No, Madonna, you.
Oh, well. That would be giving all the mystery away. I'd be glad to explain my character in the movie. But I think Griffin was asking that question because when we first met and we'd have our meetings and stuff, I think I was fairly low-key. And then when we got on the set and I got into character, I mean, my character has non-stop energy, and she's extremely loud and chatty and talkative, and she's just like this human fireball. And I had to maintain that energy all the time, even in between takes. So I think I drove him a little bit insane.
He said that you were a very noisy girl.
Yes, but I'm supposed to drive him insane in the movie, so it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mystery, yes, mystery is an important component in your career, maybe your life, but certainly your career. And I don't want you to give all the secrets away. But in any good mystery, there are clues. What are some of the clues that might describe who Madonna is?
That's a tough question. I'm not a man.
Ah.
That's a clue.
All right. Where did you come from?
I came from Michigan.
Where in Michigan?
Well, I was born in Bay City.
Bay City?
Yeah.
Little town?
Small
town?
Little smelly town in northern Michigan.
Why do you say smelly town?
Because they had, it was like it was like New Jersey. There was a lot of chemical dumps there or something.
Yeah.
So
do you say little smelly town with some affection or with complete distaste?
No, I have great affection for Bay City. And then I grew up in Pontiac and other suburbs around Detroit. And then I moved to New York.
Can you figure that out? Why someone who is arguably, and I have seen this in print, the biggest star in the world today, came from Bay City, Michigan?
Well,
how is that possible?
James Dean came from some small town in Indiana. I mean, I don't think you got to come from a, big cosmopolitan city to be a
Obviously
big star.
don't. We could probably sit here and come up with a much longer list than Madonna and James Dean.
Yeah.
And it interests me, too, that James Dean came from a little town in Indiana.
Yeah.
How does that happen? How does great talent...
I think a lot of it has to do with imagination and the great desire and need to get out of that small town kind of feeling and go somewhere and be somebody because you feel like you're missing something.
All those people, those kids grew up, go to the New York School for the Performing Arts. All of those kids who go to Los Angeles and they're child stars and they're talented.
Right.
They didn't get to be among the biggest entertainers in the world today, but this little girl grew up from Bay City, Michigan, and somehow
Well, they're not as
did
driven
it.
as I am.
Yeah.
Probably not as hungry as I was for it,
Do you know why you, of all the other kids in Bay City, Michigan, to my knowledge, hasn't produced anybody else, and presumably there were some hungry other people.
Well,
What
Pontiac
made you even more driven? Do you know?
I think coming from a big family, has something to do with it.
How big?
8 brothers and sisters, and, wanting, that sort of competitiveness you have when there's a whole bunch of you and you want your parents' attention. And you don't want the hand-me-down clothes. You know what I mean? You want to stand out. You want to be treated special. And then also my mother dying. I think that had a lot to do with me saying, well, after I got over my heartache, saying, well, I'm going to be really strong then. Or if I can't have my mother, I'm going to take care of myself.
How old were you when your mother died?
6.5.
That's plenty old enough to know and remember your mother, isn't it? What was she like?
She was beautiful and very loving and devoted to her children. Very children-oriented.
She died of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
A long illness?
2 years. I think, approximately.
I wonder about that. When a trauma happens in a little girl's life like that, do you think, I'm psychology, I don't know. Do you think that to a degree, that 6.5-year-old girl stopped, froze in development, and that somewhere in your character there's still that same little girl. There's so much little girl about you, that vulnerability, even a little playfulness. It's not all a tragic little girl.
But I don't think you have to have I don't think one of your parents needs to die for you to maintain a childlike quality in yourself. I think certain people let it stay and certain people kill it as they grow older.
Okay, if it's not the childlike quality, that driven, what made you different from everybody else?
I think, as I said before, a hunger, a desire to find something to take the place of my mother, I think maybe that might have made me separate or different.
It's like they make rare metalloids or elements that are forged in high heat and pressure.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that happened to you. You were born with gifts, beauty, talent. A lot of people are, maybe not a lot, but people are born with talent and beauty, but something happened and something special emerged.
Right.
Do I overanalyze or...
No. No. But usually a tragedy makes you stronger. So.
You are?
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
You're strong? You are a strong person? I mean, it certainly is you give off strength. You really do. But one never knows if that is
a cover-up?
A cover-up, yeah.
I think some of it is. I think I have as many vulnerabilities as I have strengths. But the strengths usually overpower the weaknesses. Hopefully.
In your household, as you grew up and with lots of brothers and sisters, and a father who was an engineer, college educated, white collar, so if you weren't wealthy, you were middle class, and a father with strong values, right?
Yes.
Catholic schools?
Yeah, until my last few years of high school. I went
A's on your report cards?
Yeah, I was a good student.
When did the rebellion, or the little flashes of it, begin?
Well, just because I was doing good in school doesn't mean I wasn't rebelling against my parents. I wanted to do good in school, but wanting to wear dresses above my knees and wear lipstick and go out on dates with boys was considered rebellious in my family.
What were some of the gestures of rebellion that you recall?
Something that I did?
Yeah.
Oh, well, when I would go to school dressed a certain way, or no, I would come down to breakfast dressed very modestly and eat my breakfast, and I would go back upstairs and borrow a girlfriend's miniskirt and put that on and then put my winter coat on over it and go to my bus stop, and my stepmother would think that I was dressed a certain way, and I wasn't. And then I'd go in the bathroom and put tons of makeup on, So that was...
Now,
and then I'd wash it all off before I went home. Another
of your reputations, very ill-defined, mind you. They say you're a tough businesswoman. You have a good head for contracts and so forth.
You mean I read them?
I got the impression you write them.
No. I couldn't have that boring job. I mean, I'd never want to be the person that writes up all those things.
But do you trust your business affairs to other people, or do you do it? You got to have hands-on?
Well, I have business managers, and I have managers, and I have lawyers, and I have agents, but
Do they bother you with details?
They have to, I insist. I call them up all the time and annoy them.
Why? What are you protecting?
I just want to know what's going on. I make a lot of money. I want to know where everything's going.
Is the money important?
It's not important like, oh God, I have to have a lot of money, but I know lots of people in my position have a lot of money, and somehow it gets lost somewhere and nobody knows where it went. So
where, none of your business question, but where is your money? I mean, do you have a big house, big car?
It's in lots of different bank accounts, and I have, several different corporations, and and I have a house in Malibu and an apartment in New York, and I do a lot of charity work and help out that way as much as I can.
Philanthropy, you give money away?
Yeah, and I buy art and
well, stop a minute.
Blah, 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 blah.
Well, let's start there and I'll go backwards. What kind of art do you like?
I like Art Deco, Art Nouveau, like constructivist, Russian constructivist, yeah. I have a lot of Lampikas. She's my favorite painter.
Philanthropy. What are your philanthropies?
Well,
I know you did an AIDS benefit.
Mm-hmm. Mostly, I give money to cancer research and trying to think of other things. Cancer research, AIDS research, aid to Nicaraguans.
Which
God,
side?
you have to ask Melissa. She knows all that
Which
stuff.
side of the Nicaraguans?
I'm an anti-Contra, so.
Sandinista.
Yep.
How come?
That's none of your business.
Fair answer.
I'm certainly not going to get into that discussion.
You're on a tour, and it's no coincidence that, or maybe it is a coincidence, but I don't think it is, that you're on a big tour, well publicized, highly successful, and the movie comes out. How does that work? Or the career? Do you manage? Do you time? Do you? And I'm back in exploring
Somehow
Madonna as
somehow
president and chairman of the board.
It just all kind of works out. I mean,
It's not calculated?
not particularly. I mean, it's like my last tour. It just so happened that after I'd made my Like a Virgin album, I got the part in Desperately Seeking Susan, and then when the movie was coming out, I was ready to do my tour, so it all happened at once. And the same thing happened again. After I made Shanghai Surprise, I came back and finished my True Blue album, released the album, and as soon as that happened, the part for Who's That Girl came. So I did that, and then I wanted to go on tour again, so I worked to go on tour as soon as I was done with the movie, and then it sort of coincided that the movie was coming out, with the tour coming out. But it wasn't calculated.
Which is paramount with Madonna? The movie or the tour?
They're equally important.
You started life as an Alvin Ailey dancer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, you didn't start as an Alvin Ailey. One works up to that because one is good. Why did you give up dancing?
I didn't. I danced my ass off in my show.
But you don't think of yourself first and foremost as
a dancer?
As a dancer. I mean, at
No.
some point you decided.
No, but it certainly has helped me in everything that I've done. So I've never really given it up.
I wouldn't take any of the bricks out of the foundation you've laid by no means.
Yeah.
But,
well,
but
that is like what it is, a foundation that I've built, and I just use it.
where did you go from dancing? What was the next step?
Singing.
Drumming?
Oh, well, yeah, playing drums in a band, and then learning how to play guitar, and then writing songs, and then singing, and then making videos, and then acting.
Yeah. It's a long list.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm interviewing you. This is a congressional testimony, and I'm laying my case. And the point I want to make is there's I think, a bad rap on you that...
There's probably several.
Yeah. What are the other ones?
Well, you tell me what you're going to say.
And then you'll tell me one?
Maybe.
Okay. That you are basically a one-note Madonna.
Mm-hmm.
Your voice is good, but you are a phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
Fact is, you're kind of a multi-talented, more than a triple threat, aren't you?
To whom?
A triple threat. That means somebody who can sing, somebody who can dance, somebody who can act on Broadway. I mean,
Right.
that's what you want to find. Someone who can do it all.
Right.
And you could say, yeah, I can do that, and I can also drum.
Uh-huh.
Do you think it's a bad rap? Do you get a bad rap? I mean, never mind you're crying all the way to the bank.
Yeah,
but
right.
still.
Do I think I get a bad rap?
Yeah.
I think that I'm misunderstood, but I think that's okay. I don't expect everyone to get everything that I'm about.
It's part of the mystery.
Exactly. And that way people keep discovering things and you know.
You're not wounded then by such criticism as that?
No.
What did Mick Jagger said something awful, dumb. I mean, his implication was Madonna is dumb. Maybe it was Madonna's lyrics were dumb, not Madonna.
Mm-hmm. No, I remember reading it somewhere too.
Yeah, what'd you think of that?
I thought some thoughts I wouldn't say on television.
Yeah. Have you since forgiven him? Or?
Oh, of course I have. I met him after he said it.
What'd you say to him?
Nothing. I mean, talked about other things. I didn't.
You think he changed his mind?
Did I change his mind?
Yeah.
I don't really feel he felt that way when he said it. I think he was feeling my threat. So he said it.
All right. I said one, you say one. What are some of the other bad raps?
Wait, I think you sort of covered them all, though. I mean, my bad rap is that I'm not really that talented, that I just have a penchant for, having a good publicity kind of thing around me. Obviously that's not true. So, I think an image and like a good hook gets you in the door, but something has to keep you in the room. And, other bad raps, I think that's the main thing, Yeah. That I'm a gold digger or an opportunist, whatever.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Was that Rolling Stone?
Yeah, I think so.
What's that story, the opportunist? What case did they make?
Oh, that I stepped all over people on my way to the top, kind of a thing.
You did make a remark once that you got to keep moving.
Yeah.
And you can't take everybody.
You can't take everybody with you. Exactly.
Yeah. Is that opportunist or is that what everybody
That's
does?
what, it's whatever you want to call it, I think that, to me, the definition of being an opportunist is someone who seizes the moment and gets the most out of what they can. And, certainly never having the intention of hurting anyone.
What about the little people? Are there little people that you've forgotten along the way?
I'm sure there are. But there's too many people in the world for me to be remembering them all the time. And the people that I do remember are the people who are worth remembering.
You say that with a steely, cool glint in your eye, and I don't think you're that cold.
I'm not cold, but it's true. I mean, you've met a lot of people on the way to where you are, right? But do you call them all and send them all postcards and Christmas presents and stuff?
People have implied that you should.
Well, I mean, isn't that what you're implying? That I'm cold because I say that I can't remember everyone? I mean, the people who really mean something to me and who are going to enhance and enrich my life as I grow are the people who are still around me. And the other people are people that I've gotten what I could possibly get from them, and I appreciate that. Or they're people who I could never have gotten anything out of really, or, you know what I mean? That's just the way life is.
A couple years ago, how are we doing?
No, fine.
I'm sorry. A couple of years ago, you were on the, never mind Rolling Stone, the cover of Time magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Is your success ever scary? I mean, is the air thinner up there in the stratosphere?
Yes, it is. Because I know that lots of people are paying attention to me and watching my every move, and I think I feel it more than ever now because I'm doing stadium shows, and I get up on stage and I see 65,000 people all standing there, and all of a sudden I feel like, I have a big responsibility.
It's not stage fright you're talking about.
No. It's just seeing that many, knowing that you sold a certain amount of records or so many people have bought in this magazine is much different than seeing them all in one room. And feeling their presence and knowing that they want they're there to get something from you.
And there are times when you don't quite feel equal to that pressure?
not that I can't do it, but just, wow, you know, I have a big responsibility. Look what I've done. You know?
Do you like people to look at you?
Most of the time. Yeah. But, you know, you always have your ugly days. Or you have a big zit, you know, on your face, and you're like,
Not Madonna.
don't want people. Oh, yes. Ask my makeup artist.
It's not in your contract, is it?
To have zits. I wish. Well, you just have a, you know, bad day. You know, you don't feel great. So if people are looking at you when you walk down the street, you don't want them to.
But they do anyway.
Exactly.
That's part of the package.
Right.
Irony. The man in your life can't stand it.
Right. It's not that he can't stand being looked at. He just likes privacy. He's a very private person.
There's a columnist who wrote what in effect was a public lecture to your husband.
Right.
And people like him, who think they can play the star game by their rules.
Right.
The case she made, do you remember what, you know what I'm talking about? The case she made was that if you want to be a star, you owe it to your fans. You owe it to the paparazzi, whatever, to the people who make stars happen and so forth. If you don't want to play by that rule, then go sell insurance or something. Do you believe that?
I'm not sure. It depends on who. I believe the person. I'm not sure who you're saying said this. It depends.
Well, it's Liz Smith, and I may be paraphrasing unfairly. Is why I didn't intentionally say.
I think that there are certain things you have to accept in this business. That, you know, you become a larger than life figure, and people want to know about you, and you have to expect a certain amount of an invasion. People walking up to you in the streets, doing interviews, people wanting to know you, touch you. That you just have to expect a certain amount of it. But then, you know, you have to draw the line.
Where do you draw the line?
I draw the line when I get to my house, and I go up my driveway. That's where the line is, you know. Wherever I live, you know, that should be sacred. And my own private life, and, you know, my romantic life, that's where I draw the line.
Do your fans know that?
What?
Do they understand that there's a line at all?
I don't think that it occurs to them to understand. I mean, if you really, really like someone or idolize someone, or you do anything to find out about them, I mean, it depends. Certain people go to a lot of extremes. I know people hang out at the bottom of our driveway a lot, and constantly ring our doorbell, and they want to see us. They think that we're going to invite them up for a cup of tea or something, you know. And then there are other people who are fans of mine who just write me letters and want my autograph, you know. So there's different kinds of fans.
Is it ever frightening?
Yeah, sometimes, when they're relentless and they never leave you alone.
You are so exposed. I mean, look at the picture on your True Blue album, provocative.
Jugular vein.
The seductress in your videos. I mean, you do the product, and I mean, it is a product. That's the Madonna that we see on the air is so inviting. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm not really afraid of that. It's meant to be provocative, you know, but it's not only meant to be provocative in a sexual way, also in a thinking in other ways, you know. I don't think about that aspect, you know. I like to provoke people, but I don't think about the danger of it. And if there is a dangerous element, that's exciting to me.
I have no intention of crossing the line you don't want to cross about your romantic life. But it is interesting that Sean Penn found Madonna, the world's most public woman, and fell in love with her. And
well, opposites attract.
Yeah. Do you ever try to help him accommodate some of the exigencies, if you will, of the movie business? Or is that his decision, period, end of discussion?
Yes, that is. I mean, I specifically don't want to discuss Sean and how he handles himself. He's a grown man, and he makes his own decisions about that. And when he wants to talk to the public about it, he can do that, but I don't want to.
You're very careful about his life, and yet you are available. I see the difference.
Well,
and I respect it.
I'm me. I can't speak for him. It's not fair.
So where are you going next?
Well, after I do my show in Chicago, I have a show in Madison, Wisconsin, and then Ohio, and then Detroit, then New York,
then
Europe.
In Europe?
Mm-hmm.
And then, when I ask about the future, how far away is the future? Is that next winter,
tomorrow.
or tomorrow is the future?
Mm-hmm.
You don't think beyond that?
Well, I've been thinking beyond that for several years, and I'm relishing the idea of not really doing anything for a month after my tour. Everybody who knows me right now is going, "Oh, sure, she's going to take a month off." But
why? Why are they so dubious?
Because I'm a workaholic. I mean, I love to work. I just do one thing after the next.
Well, you're lucky, and I hope you stay that way.
Yeah.
For a career's worth.
Mm-hmm.
But in your line of work,
it's good to take time.
You can only want to work if someone gives you something to do.
No,
if
not
there's
necessarily.
a concert and you can sell tickets, if there's a screenplay and they want you for the
Yeah, but
for the
you can
part.
create things too. You can develop movies, and you can work on things like that. Or
You're not someone who does a picture, sits back, and is sure the phone will never ring again.
No. Absolutely not.
You don't know that most people in the
Well, I
business
do other
probably
things.
do have that insecurity?
Maybe they do, but I write songs. I make records. I have. I know this sounds stupid, but I have a multifaceted career. So I don't just sit around waiting for someone to send me a screenplay. I am developing screenplays for myself as an actress, and I hope to produce movies in the future. And I'm going to continue to write music and make records. So there's tons of stuff to do, and I have to learn how to tap dance. So.
Why do you have to learn?
Because it's something I don't know how to do, and I want to learn.
You didn't learn that back in Pontiac?
No, can you believe it?
No, I can't.
So, that's up on my agenda.
Do you have time?
Oh, well, I'll make time.
Where? I mean, 24 hours is standard.
Well, when I'm done with my tour and I have time off, I'll go to, Sally Moses tap dancing school. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I want to learn how to surf, too.
You don't already?
Mm-mm.
Right? So near Lake Michigan and you never learned?
They don't have big waves in Lake Michigan, but Sean's a really good surfer, and we live in Malibu, and I'm terrified of it, so I want to learn how to do it because I like to do things I'm terrified of.
What do you do on your time off?
I read and go to movies, and I eat.
What?
Everything.
Not everything.
Well, I'm a vegetarian,
Right.
but I ate a whole bag of cinnamon gumdrops last night.
One after another?
Uh-huh.
Would you qualify that as a binge?
Definitely.
Why?
Because I ate the whole bag.
No, I know it's a binge, but why did you do it?
Because I have a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
And after I do a show, I'm ravenously hungry. I should have eaten something healthy, but I didn't.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I've
Run the gamut?
I've come up against a wall.
Oh.
And I've met the Madonna that Madonna wants me to see, right?
Sure.
And the rest I can only speculate about.
Exactly.
See, now what you've done is you have perfected the I will play by the rules, and I will give the interviews, and I will be available.
Mm-hmm.
And when they leave, they won't know a whole lot more about me than they did when they came.
Are
So
you sure?
you have found a way to protect yourself, haven't you?
I wouldn't call it protection. It's just letting a little bit out at a time.
You having fun?
Yeah.
You're happy?
Mm-hmm.
This is a happy time in your life?
Yes.
Is it all you dreamed it would be when you were a little girl?
No. How could I dream all of this?
It's better.
It's just bigger than anything I could ever imagine.
If I knew how it really was, would I want to trade places with you? Why not?
Oh, 'cause it's hard work. 'Cause it is. And you have to want to, I don't know, I guess you have to really have a very large, ego and good tolerance for pain, and you have to be addicted to work and keep going and going and going. And
the pain, physical pain, dancers,
everything.
What pain?
Pain. All pain.
Pain. Where's the pain come in?
Oh, when you're tired and you're sick and you can't go on stage and you have to. When you work really hard on something and it doesn't come out the way you wanted it to come out, and you put your blood and guts into it for months and months.
Shanghai Surprise.
Right. That's pain, but you learn from it. So, it's worth it.
But people, and I mean your fans, every night she gets to sing the song. She already knows the words. So what can
I forget the words sometimes.
What work can that be? She looks terrific, and what fun to put on great clothes.
Yeah, but I work my ass off every day to look terrific. Believe me.
What do you do other than eat the cinnamon balls at night and pay the next day?
Well, I don't eat them all the time, first of all, and I have a fairly strict diet. I mean, and that I don't eat any animal products. I don't eat any meat or fish or chicken or dairy products, but I eat everything else.
But this is you consider this is a professional sacrifice?
No, I've been a vegetarian since I was 15, but I eliminated the dairy products when I started training before my show because I have more energy.
And the jogging, everybody.
And less mucus when I'm singing and stuff. So. And I have a trainer who kicks my ass every day. So.
And that's very hard work.
It is.
Well, I appreciate your taking time with us.
Okay.
Take care of yourself.
Okay.
Best to your husband.
Thank you. The end.